This is an exclusive excerpt from the Stuff File program with Peter Anthony Holder.
You know, shockingly, at least one person thinks men in the 70s look sexy in their plaid suits. Though leisure suits in funky prints are out today, Brian Heiler is keeping their fashion glory alive through PlaidStallions.com, where he collects photos of plaid-clad models who appeared in 1970s catalogs. Brian is on the line with us right now from Ontario. Hi, Brian. How are you?
Hey, not too bad. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for being on the program with us.
Thanks for having me.
Taking a look at the website, and it certainly takes me back to a certain time. First of all, I got to start off by asking, what age are you, if I may ask?
I'm 39.
Okay, so you didn't even really grow up with the opportunity to wear that stuff in the 70s, or did you?
I got a little bit of it. My mom was a touch conservative, except when it came to home decor. But with clothing, yeah, I wore quite a bit of that stuff. I think that the reason that I'm into it is more or less because that's all tied into growing up. I was born in 1970. And, it's all childhood. And when your house is orange and brown and your parents are wearing fantastic outfits, and then that all kind of goes away, you become sort of nostalgic for it.
Yeah, I went to high school in the 70s, so that was my time period too. So I know some of the clothes of which you were talking about. I mean, if you looked at my grad picture, yikes.
Yeah. I've got a few class pictures and birthday party pictures that are just hilarious.
So when did you start this website, PlaidStallions.com?
I started it about 3 years ago. We just had a baby around that time, and I had these, afternoons where she would nap, and I had nothing to do. And I have a huge catalog collection. I've always been kind of obsessed with them. So they were always a source of humor for my friends and my family. If they came over, they'd sort through them and laugh at some of the funkier things in there. And I thought, I'm going to share this. And it really just was kind of there was no thought put behind it. Plaid Stallions was a word I used to describe the people in the catalog for 20 years. So it really didn't. It was just kind of like this thing that took off that I was a little bit surprised it would.
Well, let's back up a bit. You collect catalogs?
Yeah. The famous story is when I was 2 years old, I was put in the hospital for having a croup or something, and I wouldn't stop crying. And my mom went to the car, got the 1972 Eaton's Christmas catalog, threw it in the bed with me, and I didn't even say goodbye to her. I've always liked, especially the Christmas wish books. I've always kind of had a thing for them, so I've been collecting them since I was about a teen.
The Christmas Eaton's catalog has got to be, by far, the best thing out there. I will not disagree with you on that. I remember it as a kid myself.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that doesn't remember the excitement of that coming into the house, the Sears, and I was collecting them purely out of the nostalgia for the toys and things like that. But then, as the years went on, you started to look at the clothing, the fashion, the furniture, and it looks like another world.
So you started collecting these things, and now you've got this website. And now that you have the website that's been up for 3 years, again, it's PlaidStallions.com. What kind of reaction are you getting to it?
It's largely the most positive thing I've ever done creatively. I get everything from people who just think it's a hoot to other people who take it very seriously. I get mostly just thank you for reminding me of this toy. We had that shirt. It's all been great.
Who takes it seriously?
The odd person will kind of nitpick me on a fact, some kind of. There are some people who take every little bit of trivia seriously if I've misstepped.
You mean like the refrigerator is not just simply gold, it's harvest gold?
No, I mean more like it's more directed at the toys. Like that doll didn't come out in '75; it came out in '76.
Okay.
I guess it's important.
Well, those are the folks who need to get out of their basement.
A little bit, although I'm calling you from a basement. Shouldn't check a cinder block out my glass house.
So you've had this site for 3 years now. Dare I ask, what is your day job?
My day job is actually I'm marketing for a publishing company, sales and marketing for a publishing company that handles mostly travel guides.
Cool. So this site has been up for 3 years, as I said, and you're getting this attention. You're getting media attention, like people like myself calling you. What's that been like for you?
It's been a little bit. Weird, actually. I kind of always hoped for it, but then I wasn't really prepared for it. I was on a radio show in Chicago recently that was very surreal. I was picked up on Fox News a while back. It's strange to see, to see somebody like on the Chicago Morning News telling your jokes is a bit weird, you know.
And we should be clear here. You're not looking to return to the days of the Plaid Stallions. You're looking at it from a nostalgic point of view, not to replicate it in any way, shape, or form.
No, I mean I don't think that some people have asked me that question if I wear leisure suits and that sort of thing. While I do kind of like some of the styles and wish some things would come back a little bit, I think it's I'm not pushing for everyone to put on a polyester suit again, or just they're dressing alike is one of my pet peeves in these catalogs where husbands and wives wore the exact matching outfit.
You're right.
Silly things like that. Those things need to be left in the past.
Now, as you say, you started this because you had a little one in your house. Have you looked down the road to perhaps when your daughter gets older and chronicling the things that are of her youth? In other words, doing a similar website of today's fashions for her?
Absolutely. I mean, I think everything is cyclical. So, I mean, things will seem ridiculous to her, like, Daddy's huge cell phone by that point, or, but I mean, I think that's left for her. I think the beauty of the site for me is it's tied into my childhood. So, yeah, I poke a lot of fun at it, but it's done out of love because I wouldn't have had it any other way. I had a great childhood. I'm very happy about it, and that's why I'm doing this. So.
Now, it's not just the clothes, although the website is called Plaid Stallions. You mentioned the toys. I touched upon Harvest Gold refrigerators. There's also avocado green. You look at everything in that culture, in that time period.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah, well, it's all tied into something. If somebody had the beanbag chairs or, the gigantic VCR or, and I am a self-confessed toy nut. In fact, I'm looking right now in producing an action figure exclusive for the site that will be a 70s character.
How in depth is your site? People go to plaidstallions.com. Can they spend hours there?
Yeah, if you're interested, I have the humor side of it, and then I have the research side of it, where I've actually bought. I collect catalogs from toy companies in the 1970s as well, and I share that. People send me pictures of their collections of rare items, and I feature them in galleries. I'm also very obsessed with something called the mall appearance, which is when they would get an actor dressed as Spider-Man and show up at Woco. and people send me in their photos, and they range from just being incredibly awesome to just surreal. Like I think there's a car show picture I have where it's just a bodybuilder painted green, and it says "Meet the Hulk," and or the Planet of the Apes showing up at a Toys R Us. I've got photos of that. I mean, just some really incredible stuff like that. I'm currently working on a book as well with another author called Christmas in the 1970s, and what we're doing is we're getting people to submit their photos and their observations. Things like some of the great things we've gotten is a guy playing with his Batman doll on a red shag rug, and he's saying things like that rug was lava.
Well, since you do work in a marketing business for a publisher, has the folks you work for, have they expressed an interest in what you're doing, or are they aware of your website and your plans of doing a book?
Not really, no. I try to keep things a little separate.
Right.
In fact, I've got a lot to do there, anyways.
Right.
So, but I mean, it occasionally comes through. Packages arrive, and someone says, "Well, you're getting a lot of packages." Yeah, they're Eaton's catalogs,
Well, it certainly is a fun hobby and a fun website, too. The website is plaidstallions.com. I thank you very, very much, Brian, for taking the time to be on the program with us.
Thanks for having me. It was great.
Brian Heiler, the man behind the website plaidstallion.com. You can visit our website at thestufffile.com. Check out the show number for this program, which is show number 0007, and you'll find links to their site.
You've just heard an exclusive excerpt from the Stuff File program with Peter Anthony Holder. To hear any or all of the full hour-long shows, visit thestufffile.com. Stuff is spelled S-T-U-P-H. That's thestufffile.com. A presentation of Flying Fish Communications.